One of the last things that any business person needs to do is to become comfortable in business. The time that you nap, the time that you take it easy, once you get in your extreme comfort zone, here comes disruption in business. I've been a disruptor. Disruptors see trends, they see holes, they see opportunities that may not kiss the traditional playbook. I like how I put that. I was searching, but that hits. Disruptors are there because markets change, people change, demographics change, technology flat out changes the game on so many things. So you can never be comfortable in business. I know you got all of that money invested in your corporate library trainings, but most of that stuff isn't even relevant to the day we're living in. You're not selling Joe and Holly anymore. Demographics are changing. You have African Americans that are more economically viable and more attuned to people properly addressing their issues. You have a rising Asian marketplace, a rising Indian populace. You got the generation gaps. They don't sell, they don't buy like maybe mom and dad did. They're not going to have your baby boomer identity. So with being in an ever changing world and an ever changing, and technology is bringing so many things, it's disrupting the game. The marketplace owes you nothing. The marketplace simply is what it is. And if you're a business person using all of yesterday's methods, you probably won't be in business tomorrow. There's some maxims and truths and uh, uh, root principles from the past that will always be prevalent, but all of them won't stay relevant. So you gotta sometimes, that's why it's so important to keep learning, because you can't rest on your laurels to what you learned 20 years ago. The world you're marketing to, the world you're doing business in, the world that you're trying to provide services to has totally changed. You can't win doing it like you always used to do it. Disruption, the greatest people in history right now, the people that are making the world turn and getting the headlines, they are disruptors. They spot an opportunity, they spot a trend. If you're in any business and you don't watch trends in business, sometimes that's why it's so important to look at who your customer is. Sometimes get in you can be in a perch in the corporate office and look at flat out statistics, but sometimes you got to go and get the smell of the game. Visit your places, walk through your places, meet who your customers, meet them face to face instead of through reading through their surveys and their emails. Sometimes you have to get the smell of the game because business change and the world changes beneath you and doesn't even let you know that you've been disrupted. And most of the time you're pickpocketed by disruption and you didn't even know it was coming. So look, I'm not saying that you guys are more savvy, maybe, than me. You may be wealthier than I am, but I do know I can spot holes for disruption. And when you can spot holes for disruption, you can change the game in any field because there's some little nuance, there's some little some little need that's not being addressed. There's some hole in some chink in your armor, and disruption will finally get there. It's one thing to not be the best, but it's a whole nother thing to be the best, but be the best without being relevant will soon make you pay an awful toll. Why would Airbnb have a net worth more than the Hilton now? Why would Uber be worth more than Ford possibly? All of these disruptors came in, they looked for little small nuances, and a thinker, you can never stop thinking. Thinkers changed the game. They were less funded, less established, just a joke. There were cab drivers. I heard, even when I do listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, he said that he was telling cab drivers about that they were fit for disruption. And so they laughed him to scorn. Now, who's talking about taking a cab now? Look, don't be that person that's sitting back and all of a sudden the whole world has changed. And you're stuck with your corporate manuals and doing things like they always used to do when they were selling Mary and Ted. And Mary and Ted isn't even the game. There's even some larger discussions because the world's going through more changes like that. Blended families have taken a whole nother meaning now. So look, business changes, the world changes, technology changes, people change, demographics change. So why are you doing it like you always done? It makes you fit for disruption. Be blessed. Hopefully this hit someone head on, and have an awesome day.